nice and early today. So I'm trying to tweak my exhaust. So let's do a little short video on tweaking my exhaust to get rid of this raspy, trumpety sound. So the main thing I'm trying to get rid of is obviously that trumpet sound. Like I said, I'm not sure if it's because it needs bedded in, but the X pipe has been bedded in for a while. It's done like 2,000 miles now, and it still is making it sound shit. I think the reason why it sounds worse than what it is now is because I've put on the back box, which has made everything louder. So it just seems like it's other stuff as well, like it could be like new piping, but I don't think it is. So basically, because what I mean by that is, if you get like a 20 grand exhaust, like a brand new exhaust for like a Ferrari F430 or something, they don't sound shit. So it can't be just because it's got new metal on it. I mean, if you get a brand new car from the factory, I know it's been driven around like 10 or 20 miles, but it's still not enough to bed it in. When you drive that, does it sound like a trumpet? No. It's usually for straight pipe cars. Anyway, let's talk about what I've done to it and what the current setup is at the moment. So the first thing I've done to it was X-pipe. Probably the worst mistake of my life. So I did it without the resonator as well, because like everyone online was like, oh, do an X-pipe, do it without a resonator, it's fucking awesome, it sounds like a Ferrari, blah blah blah. Okay, we'll do that. So I've done an X-pipe. Even though they've done their X-pipe weird, I know there's different versions of X-pipes, like different ways you can do it. But I wanted it to keep it like the same, because I wanted like brand new steel on it, because I thought, for some reason I thought it was cast iron, this car. I thought all old cars are cast iron and all that sort of stuff. It's not, apparently it's stainless steel anyway. Some people say it's mould steel, some people say it's stainless steel, so I'm not sure who to believe. I thought that it was like really rusty, but it's just dirty, so that's why I asked them to do a full new pipe. I could have just used my old pipe and get the box cut off, but I didn't really want to mess around with like that. So I got the X pipe done. So I'm not sure if it's because it's the way that they've done the X, or if it's just because it's without a resonator. So as soon as they've done it, it sounded like really raspy. So, and then that's when that trumpet sound was there. So then I wanted to try and get rid of that sound, and I wanted to get sport cats anyway. So I asked for some sport cats, because obviously you get more airflow, more gains in that, because I was trying to add some more horsepower, and it sounds more aggressive, a little bit louder. And before I start that actually, so if you've seen my videos, my valves weren't working properly, so one valve was completely shut all the time. If that one was open, after doing the X-pipe, I would have thought, fuck me, it's loud, I'll just leave it. But it wasn't loud enough because one side was shut, but I never knew that. So I done the sport cats to make it louder, and I asked if they can put some resonators on like the X-pipe, and they said, oh yeah, we could do like two little like long resonators on it. That will keep it less drone. It'll get rid of like the rasp and all that sort of stuff. Alright, got that done. It sounded really nice, louder, aggressive, doing pops and bangs more. It sort of brought the tone back, but it's got this weird like, it sounds like a, it's hard to explain, but I think it's because it's what they've done to it. So where they've put on these small like resonators, I'm doing air quotes because I'll tell you why later, it's making this like weird like sound. It's like air's hitting metal or something. It's hard to explain it, but it's like, but it's more deeper. It's a noise, but it's just, I don't know, it's not sure what's going on there. That, I don't know if you can hear that. So, and then obviously I wanted like to do the valve delete, because I found out after I'd done the dyno, it was like 400 horsepower, so it's lost loads of horsepower. So I went back to ask about long tube pellets, and then he thought he would just check out, like he said, it'd be like 4 grand. He said it's best to probably do something else. He said we could check the valves, like see if they're working. So he checked the valves, because last time we did actually check the valves the first time. Before I done the X-pipe, we checked the valves and they weren't working, but he said that they're stuck open. So he had to check with a camera. One side stuck open, my side, and the other side is completely shut. So he said you might want to take them out first. Took them out, the horsepower came back, a lot more power, and basically because where it's meant to open at 3,500 or 3,000 RPM, so it's not getting that horsepower on the dyno. So like the air is getting trapped and it's trying to push itself itself out, and it's not good for the engine. So we deleted the valves, and it was so much louder. I was like, I should have done that in the fucking first place. If I took the valves out, I probably would have just kept it stock and just done like sport cats, which is what I should have done now. But now I spent loads of money. As you can hear, drone. Yep. And then I thought, well, I want to do more to it. So I asked to put on a Larini exhaust. So we done that, and it's made the tone so much deeper and nicer. Popping more, banging more, burbling, crackling. Brilliant. But because it's made it louder, you can hear the raspy, trumpety sound more, and it's now doing like a big drone because where everything's got louder. So basically, I'm just trying to bed it in. Like they said to bed it in. So when I took it to them just to see what else we can do, I said I think I need to put like a resonator, like another resonator on the X pipe to like tone it down. Because when I was there, they had a look at everything and basically said, like, well, like I said on these sport cats, right? These like long, little, tiny like tubes that you've got on there. So, like, is it okay to have resonators and another resonator? They said that they're not resonators. I went, oh, what is it then? He went, a silencer. I went, that's the same thing, right? So I thought that a silencer was another name, like silencer, resonator, muffler. I just thought they're just names, like terms that people use. And he went, no, they're different. I went, oh, right. Because I asked for you to put on a resonator, but you put on silencers. So I found out that silencers actually just tone it down, so like loudness. I was like, right, okay, so what's a resonator then? And they said, oh, that stops drone and it being harsh and raspy. I was like, oh, brilliant. Well, if you'd done that in the first place, then it might not be like this. So I spent money on it. Anyway, so me thinking that I might keep them on there anyway, because it's quite loud, as you can tell I've got a shout. So I might keep the silencers on there to keep it from being too loud. And then I was thinking about doing a sporty resonator to get rid of the drone and this harsh, raspy noise, and it sounded like a fucking trumpet. So that's what I'm going to do. But I thought about doing like another X pipe to the way that the car is, but I just thought, why should I ask to make one when they probably would never get it right? So I'm literally going to just use the old X pipe and getting rid of the old resonator, like getting it chopped off and putting on a sporty resonator. But then it might make it too deep and change the noise and then not being a Maserati anymore. I thought about doing the cheapest option first. If I get it all cut up, spend like £250 on like a resonator or whatever it is, I've just wasted money and I've cut up something that I can't get back. So then I would have to get them to like put the old box on again, and it's just wasting money. So it's better to do the cheapest thing first, which is just put on the old X pipe with the old resonator and see if the X pipe is the one that's doing the noise. If it is, and I still want it to be a bit sportier, and then I can put on a resonator, because I know it's not going to make it sound like a fucking trumpet. Now, if it doesn't work, and then that just means that it's because it's new material and it needs bedded in. I know this because the raspiness didn't happen when I put on like the Sport Cats or the Larini back box, which I done last. I know it was from the X pipe. As soon as I put the X pipe on, that changed it. So now I'm thinking, is it the X pipe that's making it raspy because that was the first thing that I'd done, or am I thinking that because the first thing that I'd done was that, and it's new material, and it's like the new metal with not carbon build-up can make it sound raspy. I don't know, but nevertheless it needs a resonator because it's droning. I can't get rid of the drone regardless, even if I, you know, put on a sporty resonator. It probably won't get rid of the drone. It'll probably still be droning because it's sporty, right? But usually, like, even with a back box, if you put a back box on it, it does start humming. But if I put on the old resonator with the old X pipe, that should get rid of the drone and it should make the raspiness go and bring back the old Italian V8 sound and hopefully get rid of that trumpet sound. I'm hoping that's the reason for it. it's brilliant. But like I said, if it's not, I'll just put on a sporty resonator and just bed it in. I was going to do long tube headers, but I'm not now. I'll explain in another video. And I was going to do then short tube headers, but again, I'm not now. And again, I'll explain in one of the videos about what's illegal in the UK for modifications. So I'm on my way to the place that done the Larini back box, who put that on. And they did a good job actually. I thought that they might have fucked it up. I mean, it's a little bit out of alignment by about, I don't know, half a centimetre or so. So I'm going to get the guys just to like readjust it, realign it so it's straight. Get them to take off the new X pipe that's on there, the custom one, and then put on the old X pipe with the old resonator. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that would get rid of the raspy harshness and that trumpety, vibrating, shitty sound. I hate straight piping cars. I've done it before and it sounds awful and sounds exactly like a trumpet. So usually taking away like mufflers and resonators and shit, that's what causes it. So I think that's what's caused this, because I've done the X pipe with no resonator. If the guys just put on a resonator and not a silencer, then it would have been alright, but that's why I'm tweaking it again. So yes, there's been a few times I've tweaked it. So the first time was X pipe. The second time was Sport Cats with silencers, but I thought there'll be resonators. And then the third time, I got the valves deleted on the old exhaust to see if that would make a difference. And the fourth time, I did the Larini back box, just because. And now this will be the fifth time that I'm doing a modification, is putting on the old X pipe with a resonator, to see if that makes a difference. Hopefully this will be the last one, otherwise I'll be doing a 6 instalment on a sporty resonator and see if that gets rid of it. If not, I'll just be reverting back to fucking stock, I think. Let's see, and maybe just leave the Sport Cats on. That's what I should have done in the first place. I should have just done Sport Cats and that's it. Because that would have kept the sound completely. It wouldn't be droning, it wouldn't be crazy loud, it'd still be sounding like nice and aggressive, it's all like pop and bang a little bit. But I don't know. We shall see. So in the next clip, well, this will be the last time that you hear it like this. That little raspiness. And hopefully the sound comes back. Let's see. Well, that sucks. Came all this way for no fucking reason. Well, not no fucking reason, but it took me 2 hours to get here from Sheerness. So it should only take about 35-40 minutes, but the traffic was so mental. It took me 2 hours. And then they had a look at it. We've decided what we're doing to it, but he said he can't book me in today. I was like, oh. So he's going to book me in tomorrow, so we'll get in nice and early, get it for like before 8 o'clock, which means I'm going to have to leave really early because the traffic's going to be mental. So I'm just having something to eat and then I'm going to obviously a coffee, as always. And be coming back here tomorrow. But we have decided what we're doing. He suggested, well, he said it sounded nice because he was revving it up a little bit. I said, yeah, but you won't really hear it just from revving it up, you need to floor it. And he went, yeah, like that's why I floored it a little bit. I went, yeah, but you need to floor it properly, you can't really do it just like from parked up to your bit. He just went, and that's it, you can't really get it high enough to hear that trumpet sound. So basically, he said, the X pipe looks shit. I said, thank you, that's exactly what I was thinking. The X pipe that they've done is wrong. It comes out more like this rather than like curving inwards and then coming out. So it's more like a curvy X rather than like a sharp X. But the way the Maserati have done theirs is brilliant. I said I was thinking about like doing like another X pipe, but or like a sporty resonator actually. And he suggested not to because he said that that's fine. He said that the box is small anyway. Obviously, where it's a Maserati, it's a high-end car. They don't just do like normal resonators like cars do, which if you do a sport one, it changes it completely. Where this is near enough like in between anyway, so it's not far off from being a sport resonator anyway. So you might as well just keep it. I said I thought it was rusty at first, but I think it's just dirty. It just needs a clean up. He said yes, it's stainless steel, so you just need to clean it up or just leave it as what it is and then put it on. It's not rusting away. So I don't actually need to replace the X pipe and get them to make a new one to like the way that Maserati intended it, which will take a lot of time because I have to measure it exactly and how it all curves in and that. He said just use that one and you don't need a box, just use that one as well. So we're just going to put that on he says like the sport cats are on there, which is good. You're getting your power, you're getting the aggressive sound, the pops and bangs more. You've done your Larini back box, which is mainly what changes the sound anyway. He's got that deep tone. It's bringing back like a, not the exotic Maserati sound, but a better sound. Like I do like the Larini back box. It's nice. But he said you just need to like tone it down a bit. Like basically what I've done to it is like a 9 in like sound level. Like he said, if you do the headers and then that'd be your max. He said, but you just want to tone it down to like a 6 or 7, like, which would be like nice. Just tone it down a little bit, smooth it out. So I said, okay, so you reckon just put on the X-Pipe? He said yes. Plus he said there's little leaks. It's like leaking from like the exhaust. So I thought it was the aircon basically. I said like the aircon condensation drips everywhere. Like it does drip from the back. I've said in another video, it drips from where it's meant to be dripping from, which is where the aircon is, like the aircon system. But it's dripping from the back, and he said it's to do with basically it's got like a little leak, and where the clamps are on, it's got like a little bit that's coming out. So I think that's the reason why. I said, would that be the reason why it's making a trumpet sound? He said no, not really, unless it was bad, it had like a hole in it or something. But he said no. So he said it's the X-Pipe. I reckon it's the X-Pipe as well. So that's what we're going to do. So tomorrow I'm going to get the X-Pipe fitted. I'll do this as part 1. Part 2 would be actually driving it around to see if it's changed. And then it will tell you guys how to do the perfect setup to get this tone exactly right without it being raspy like a fucking trumpet. So stay tuned for the next one, and hopefully we can get this Maserati sounding just right. See you for the next one. Oh, that's sorted it. Basically, if you have any issues with these Maseratis, so every time I take it to like a mechanic, I don't know why, but every time I start up the car, something's gone wrong with the like the miles per hour, or like the gear changes. It lets you know what like gear you're on. Sometimes that's just disappeared, so you have to like go into it and then like press mode and go to speed repetition, and then it comes back. If your miles, so like where it says how many miles that you've done, sometimes that's flashing, which you find a lot of times on Maseratis, especially if you test drive them. But I've test drove a couple and they were both doing it. If that happens, lock the door, unlock the door, restart it up, problem solved.